First raids in Kashmir Genocide case. Genocide probe body raid in nurse murder. Ex-JKLF chief Yasin Malik's Srinagar home raided. Kashmiri Pandit Sarla Bhatt was murdered in 1990. Lieutenant Governor earlier had reopened the Pandit genocide cases, and there's still hope of justice after 35 long years. So that's the breaking news that's coming in from Jammu and Kashmir, where there are first raids being conducted in the Kashmir genocide case. The genocide probe body is raiding in the nurse murder case. The ex-JKLF chief Yasin Malik's Srinagar home is being raided. Remember, Kashmiri Pandit Sarla Bhatt was murdered in the year 1990, and the Lieutenant Governor had reopened the Pandit genocide case. And now the raids are being conducted in the same case, and in fact Yasin Malik's Srinagar home is being raided. My colleague Ashraf Wani is now joining us with more details on this. Ashraf, give us more details on the raids that are being conducted in the Pandit genocide case.
Yes, absolutely. The killings of Kashmiri Pandits took place mostly during the year 1992, when the terrorism and the militancy started in the Kashmir Valley. These cases were investigated earlier, but there was not any kind of focus on the investigation due to the circumstances during that period in the Kashmir Valley in the 90s. And now finally, after the abrogation of Article 370 in 2019, the Jammu and Kashmir government decided again to reopen all those cases of killings of innocent Kashmiri people, including the Kashmiri Pandits in the 90s, some of the political workers, some of the minority members, and some of the Kashmiri Pandits. Now, these cases are being, the files had been opened, and today, early in the morning, 8 locations had been raided by the SIA, which is the Special Investigating Agency of Jammu and Kashmir Police in the Srinagar, particularly in the downtown areas, including the residence of Yasin Malik, the Jammu and Kashmir Liberation Front chief, who is currently in Tihar jail. His house was also searched thoroughly by the SIA salutes, and also the searches were conducted in other parts of the Srinagar city, particularly in the downtown area of Srinagar, where most of these killings took place.
Right, Ashraf, do stay with us. We're also being joined by my colleague Sunil Ji Bhatt on this story. Sunil Ji, how are the Kashmiri Pandit groups responding to this renewed investigation after 35 long years?
Anjali, Kashmiri Pandits have been waiting for justice for last more than 35 years. In early 90s, there were horrific crimes that were committed against the minuscule minority of Kashmiri Pandits by the Pakistan-sponsored terrorists. Now a big development has taken place. Recently, Jammu and Kashmir Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha had said that all terror-related cases would be reopened. And now in line with that, State Investigating Agency, SIA, has conducted raids in various parts of Srinagar city in connection with the brutal gang rape and murder case of Sarla Bhatt. Sarla Bhatt was a nurse. She was working at Kashmir's prominent medical institute, Sher-e-Kashmir Institute of Medical Sciences. She was abducted by the terrorists belonging to Jammu and Kashmir Liberation Front in April 1990. She was then kept in captivity. She was gang raped for days, tortured, and then she was brutally killed. Her mutilated body was found in downtown Srinagar, and this showed that how terrorists carried out brutal killings of Kashmiri Pandits. The conspiracy of terrorists was to make Kashmir Valley Kashmiri Pandit free, and they wanted to create conditions which were akin to genocide. And Kashmiri Pandits were tortured, they were killed, and this led to the mass exodus of the Kashmiri Pandit community from the Kashmir Valley. It led to ethnic cleansing of the Kashmiri Pandits from the Kashmir Valley. There are many such cases of Kashmiri Pandits, in the Kashmir Valley. They have been waiting for justice. Remember, in 1990, Kashmiri Pandits were driven out of the Kashmir Valley from their ancestral homes.
Right, Sunil Ji, please stay with us. We're now being joined by former Deputy Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, Mr. Nirmal Singh, on the broadcast. Mr. Singh, a very good morning to you. Mr. Singh, how do you see this renewed investigation into the 1990 Pandits, Kashmiri Pandits genocide? We're learning that there are first raids being conducted. In fact, Yasin Malik's Srinagar residence is also being raided.
It's a very good news because though justice coming late, but it's coming. And it's coming under the able leadership of our Prime Minister Narendra Bhai Modi, who has pledged to fight out terrorism to the last terrorist. That's a very welcome step. And our security agencies, they are working very well. They are weeding out all these terrorists, whether they are Pakistanis or who are sitting inside. I know the time when in early 1990s, 89, 90, I was in Jammu. I have seen that how these people, these Kashmiri Pandits, the minority in Kashmir, who are the real original inhabitants of Kashmir, the people who followed the Sharda Sanskriti, and they had been driven out, and everybody, whether they are so-called mainstream parties, their people, other people, they were supporting directly, indirectly this movement, and ultimately nobody was coming forward to help them. We see that we still remember that how they were people who were living in 24, 26 degrees Celsius in Kashmir, they were pushed towards Jammu, which is 42, 43 degrees. And large number of people, they died due to heat, they died due to snake bites. Old ladies, still those pictures, they are revolving around my memory. So it's justice is coming, and we still remember, the nation remembers that how Yasin Malik and these people, they were hosted by Sonia Gandhi, they were invited to there's a Prime Minister house, and long meetings were held with them. And these people, they were equating him with Nelson Mandela. This was very unfortunate part of our history in Jammu and Kashmir. But ultimately, as our Honorable Prime Minister has rightly said, that we shall fight these terrorists to the last, and we have seen that how the origin of the terrorism, that is Pakistan, they have been taught lesson. And you'll see in future that how they are being taught lesson, and whole the nation is with our Honorable Prime Minister, with the security agency, our army, security forces, Jammu Kashmir police, and who are fighting out this militancy, and NIA and other agencies which are working very hard to weed out these enemies of the humanity.
Right. Mr. Singh, thank you for joining us on the broadcast and for your view on the renewed investigation in the 1990 Kashmiri Pandit genocide. We're also being joined by Ms. Aarti Tikku Singh on the broadcast, who's a senior journalist. Ms. Tikku, how do you see this development from the valley where Yasin Malik's house, Srinagar residence, is being raided? There's a reopened investigation. Although it's coming after over 30 years, it has been a long wait for the victim families. How do you see this development, and what could be the challenges that the probe teams might face in the valley?
Well, Anjali, thank you for asking me this question. As a journalist as well as a displaced Kashmiri Pandit, I've been very disillusioned about the justice system with respect to the ethnic cleansing or genocide of Kashmiri Pandits in Kashmir, because it's been 35 years and we haven't received any justice in relation to all the killings of Kashmiri Pandits, either in 89, 90 or the massacres that happened afterwards, and even the recent targeted killings in Kashmir of Kashmiri Pandits. But if there is now a major effort or an initiative to bring all the perpetrators of terrorism, especially those who were involved in the killings of Kashmiri Pandits, to justice, then certainly we welcome this move. I think it was long overdue. The government ought to have, in fact, the successive governments ought to have punish, prosecute, convict the perpetrators of ethnic cleansing of Kashmiri Pandits in all these 35 years. But unfortunately, for the lack of evidence or for the lack of, in fact, not lack of evidence, but for the fact that lot of witnesses turned hostile, lot of witnesses were bought over by the whole pro-Pakistan separatist network. Many of them were also helped by some of the elements within the system, unfortunately and regrettably. As we have been repeatedly saying, that the mainstream political parties in Kashmir were equally complicit in the of Kashmiri Pandits, as nobody, neither the mainstream political parties nor separatists actually came to rescue or defend Kashmiri Pandits who've been a minority in Kashmir for many, many years.
All right, Ms. Aarti Tikku Singh, that's all the time we have on the broadcast. But thank you for joining us and with all those details about the Kashmiri Pandit genocide. After 35 long years, the investigation has finally reopened. There are raids being conducted in the valley.